Okay, I'm going to start this show, and I know how to do this. So, first of all, I got to get my mask off. All right. Hello, this is Michael Emry with TVOI News, and I'm sitting here with the 3 percenters, and I would like to introduce them. And who am I talking with?
I'm Brandon Curtis, the president and founder of the Idaho 3% chapter.
Okay.
I'm Brooke Agresta. I'm a zone leader with the Idaho 3% chapter.
Cool.
And I'm Jerry Thompson. I'm the Canyon County leader for Idaho 3%er.
Okay. And
Andrew Chavez, a member of the Idaho 3 percenters and the national president.
you look like decent. I don't know. I watch too many Saving Private Ryan. And my name is Michael Emry, as I expressed, and this is Rufus, the mascot of TVOI. He's a handsome guy. One of the things we're here to do is to dispel rumors and to let everyone in the community know who the 3 percenters are. What is their mission? What is it that's really in their hearts, and not some misconception or something from Southern Poverty Law Center or some demonizing mark, when in fact I know these people and they are very caring, loving people that care so much that they're willing to put themselves in harm's way for the sake of the protection of their community in case of an emergency. So that is my take on it. And so Brandon, what do you think?
You said that well, Mike. We're here to educate Idaho citizens, get involved in our community, help people be aware, prepare for anything that may come.
Okay. And what was your name again?
Brooke.
Brooke. Now, it's kind of unusual to see a female within a group, especially a pretty one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but what was the driving force for you to join 3 percenters?
Saw things going on in this country that I've always kind of stood against, rights being trampled on, and people not being prepared for any type of situation that could come, whether it be a natural disaster or any other situation. So I got involved.
Wow, well, I appreciate that. And your name again was?
Jerry Thompson.
Jerry Thompson. And your position?
I seen, like Brooke said, things was going south, things are not going right. I want to be the ones that, I don't want to be left behind. I want to be able to be out there. I want to be able to help other people get to where they have to be. If they need help, I want to be able to help them. I'm not going to babysit them, but I want them to protect themselves, to help themselves, and be prepared.
Right. And your name again?
Andrew Chavez.
Andrew Chavez. So what was the driving force for you to join 3 percenters?
Mainly because I was looking at the country and how it was going, and I noticed that it seems like our government, no matter what side you're on, they don't really care for the people. So I figured the people, we have to take care of each other,
Right.
And it doesn't matter what side you're on, like you're welcome here with us. Just we need to look after each other because nobody's going to do it.
That's right.
It sounds to me like exactly what I did on the intro, is that y'all care enough to be able to stand up where you're not getting really any net gain right now. Folks, if you really want to vet somebody with their intentions, ask yourself what the gain is for people like this to do what they do with all kinds of obstacles and still stand tall. Now that takes some courage, and I'd like to thank you all for doing what you do. And I myself have been on this fight for a long time, and that's why I created TVOI News, is to be your voice, law enforcement voices, and so that we can work together to dispel the rumors. And in case of an emergency, there will not be an attitude adjustment, because my greatest fear is that that the Illuminati or the powers to be, or whomever they are doing like they have in every other country, and we will end up fighting amongst ourselves while they laugh. I think that the strongest warriors are the ones that love the most and can cry the most, and actually care about somebody they don't even know. I mean, really, folks, how many people out there would do like these folks would? I mean, probably a lot of you. So if that's the case, I think that there is potential, not for the many, but for the few, that maybe want to assist the 3 percenters.
Yeah, absolutely. We're growing daily. We have people that we do vet people before they come in. We want the right type of person in place. Right. We don't want the extremists. We don't want someone that's going to come in and create drama or be there for the wrong reasons. So we do the best we can to vet people as they come in. And if it's something that interests the people out there, You can find us on Facebook. We have a website.
And what is that website?
The website is www.idaho 3% Roman numeral 3%.org.
Okay, okay. I guess for me, law enforcement and the approach of law enforcement is the next most important step that you already seem to be doing now.
Correct.
How many officers have you contacted and talked to?
Oh, many. That's one of my jobs as the president. I try to network with all the sheriffs, law enforcement. We have 3 sheriffs in our group that are constitutional sheriffs. I know them personally. They support what we do and what we stand for. I try to meet with, I've met with FBI, I've met with Secret Service, I have met with Boise Police Department, all the way on up through northern Idaho, meet with as many sheriffs as I can. We want to back those constitutional sheriffs, and we're not anti-law enforcement, which is another,
They're just people, man.
They're just people, and my personal belief is the local law enforcement is going to be our last line of defense.
Is there anything else you'd like to say that gives you necessary credibility within law enforcement?
I was a law enforcement officer for 11 years.
Well, folks, I don't know about you, but I think that that's a little bit of necessary credibility that he can understand both sides of the fence.
And that's what works really well, is I can sit down at the table and have that conversation with them, because I understand where they're coming from. I understand their fears of groups like us. I understand their
Liabilities
concerns. Absolutely. Absolutely. But we want them to know that we're there to support them as long as they're doing the right thing.
You said that you have medical experience.
I did a very minor amount of time in paramedic training.
Oh, okay. I was a combat medic. Amongst other things. And I probably wouldn't want me
keep you alive long enough to get you to the person that can save your life.
That's me too, yeah. But actually, I probably forgot about you. You saying, "Oh, who's going to help you?" Hey,
So speaking of that, a lot of people in groups like this are older generation. They've served, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, whatever the case may be, and they
older generation folks get that.
Older generation, but they have a lot of that background knowledge, and we utilize that. We utilize that to teach our younger members who maybe don't have that background, or they've worked in an office their whole life, and so we share that information back and forth, because in a situation where we're standing next to each other, a natural disaster happens, and the only person I can get to is, say, Jerry. One of us has got to know how to save someone's life.
Some of the people I hear that are preppers have no clue that their psychology is the thing that's going to kill them first.
Psychology is far more important than any prepping you can do physically.
Absolutely.
I could get people that are almost starving, but they've got the right mindset.
That's right.
And man, I tell you what, that's wow.
Yeah.
You got to have the will to want to survive, and preparing yourself mentally is the most important.
There's an old saying, your body could quit 100 times, your mind could only quit once.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
So y'all are in your 40s and under.
I'm almost 50.
You're almost 50.
You're still in your 40s. You said
It's the
40s.
40s. Yeah.
Almost.
You said lower
Okay, and I'm in
40s.
my 50s. Anyways, but I can still do pretty good for my age. 53. I think I'm 53. I gotta quit smoking cigarettes now. I'm losing my breath.
But that's the thing too, like, no matter what age you are or what condition you're in, we can find a place for you to do something.
Absolutely.
Anyone can do anything.
Yeah, you could do something, whether it's like helping recruit on the internet or handing out flyers or talking to people, like anything. So if you're out of shape or whatever, you can still join.
There's a lot of people, what they
Absolutely.
want is if they want to find solutions. And maybe it's somebody that can help provide those solutions by helping you with secretarial work, maybe they're disabled. There's some vets that I see come back, and this is the horror story, and I want to help them. What's up with that?
We're actually talking about that on a national level. I think I've told you about, me and Angie were talking about it, protesting at the VAs to try to get them to recognize that they're not helping our veterans. So
They're causing more damage.
Yeah.
What it is administration,
You
though.
can't put every single veteran that comes back on a grid with all the same issues. Because every one of them has some sort of, and I hate the use of the term PTSD.
I despise it. I really do.
But for lack of a better term, each individual veteran's PTSD, and every single one of them suffers from something like that, and like I said, lack of a better word, you can't put them all on one grid and treat them all the same. And that's exactly what they do. They put them in a cookie cutter process. You might as well be building neighborhoods in Las Vegas. You can't put them all in a cookie cutter square and say this is how you need to be treated. Because eventually you're only going to touch one in how many and lose all the rest.
Right. Yeah, they're just going to fall through the grapevine, aren't they?
Well, my dad's a perfect example of it.
And just a suggestion: if the VA wants to help veterans, get veterans in as doctors and stuff like that, because we relate to them more. Just that.
Right.
Just throwing that out.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I would like this to be the first of many introductions to the 3%ers, and I would like nothing better that we can maybe develop. Because I do have some other people coming on board that we have programming coming up. One of the things I'd like you all to let you in on is how would you like to have an hour-long program a week for a 2-hour or a couple of times a week?
Absolutely.
We want common sense, we want our dignity back, and we want to find our heroes back in law enforcement. Where are our heroes? I know you're out there, and these people are pouring their hearts out to find you out. So step up, be a man, be a woman, see what we can do to help.
Absolutely.
And if you're scared to stand up, you're already a slave, because
right.
they already own you.
Absolutely.
You have to say something. You can't hold it in.
And you know, there's strength in numbers and stuff, and we don't even have to fight because this is going to go away because of the internet has informed too many people of their lives.
Absolutely.
And there's where it is for me. I took an oath to protect and serve the United States against foreign and domestic enemies, and I dare say we've got problems. And I want to see a proper judicial system that I can take an example of crime and find a prosecutor that will prosecute these people, not what we have now. So we're not enemies of the state. What we are is servants.
Absolutely.
And I'm a servant. You folks are servants. I tip my hat to you. And on a last note, is there anything that you'd like to say to all the good folks out there?
There is. One of the things I want to drive home while we're having this conversation is we like to be involved in the community. You know, Brooke touched on that a little bit earlier. You know, we adopted some families for Christmas. We want to get more involved in the VA with the vets, whether it be helping them clean up yards, and we get involved in the overpasses, you know, to help educate people and just be more seen out there. And so I'm excited to announce, we haven't put this out there.
Cool.
So
Okay, here we go.
this is the first time. So just this week we formed and launched our 3% of Idaho Motorcycle Club, which is sole purpose is to fight child abuse.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So we are going to
Not only fight child abuse, but protect children that we have
That's
already
right.
found that have encountered child abuse and are going through the legal process against their offender.
Yeah, so like if they're scared or getting intimidated or something like that,
Right.
then
we'll provide security, transportation to court.
You know, it's funny, they have the Lautenberg law, which is a nasty, insidious law that two spouses get in an argument, and it convolutes it and makes the situations worse and takes the discretionary values away from law enforcement respect. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
talking about. And they put that law in there, and you think the women are protected because of that law? No. It has made it far worse. It has caused more harm than good.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of discretionary away from the law enforcement, the guys on the front line that are making those decisions. So
That's scary. If you
absolutely scary because they're being, you know, dictated by a higher power of what they have to make a decision based on versus the evidence in front of them. And it's really a bad deal. So we're excited about this new venture.
Oh, a motorcycle club and
correct.
stuff and the health club. Wow.
We've got a couple of the prosecutor's offices on board to help us out and put us in touch with the situations that need us the most.
I may be able to help you connect
Absolutely.
people too. Brooke, I'd like to make a suggestion to you. I've seen a lot of, when we were doing Oath Keepers and was talking to Stuart Rose, we did a test bed. We sat out with the bikers and everything, and I watched all the bikers going, oh, what's this, you know. But their women were far more braver and bold than their men. And I looked around at some of those guys and I thought, you know, you could have at least come up.
Is he going to challenge me to this? Because it's not necessary.
I'm not going to challenge you. I'm not going to challenge you to it, but I would like to point out that, ladies, it's cool to stand up for what you believe in. And you have the strongest aspect of our society is our women.
And Brooke is in the leadership structure as well with the motorcycle club.
Okay.
So it's a women friendly. and we encourage that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the other thing with our group too is it's growing fairly quickly. With the amount of numbers we have for membership, you know, we have to keep it above board. All these rumors are going around. We're too visible. So
you can't make one mistake where somebody else can make 10.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, people need to understand and realize, that we're here to be visible. We're here to be proactive, be involved. And if you're doing things under the table, so to say, or illegally, you're not going to you can't do those things.
We do have a couple of things coming up.
Yeah.
Well, one big thing. Andrew's wearing the shirt for it. It's the March Against Monsanto, against GMO products. It's May 23rd.
I want that. Do you have a logo for that?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's May 23rd in every state, at every state capital across this nation. The national 3% is pushing it. Idaho 3% is pushing it hard as well.
Completely behind that.
Oh, cool.
And the only other thing I want to say is to anybody who's female, because a lot of females come in here thinking, I don't know how to shoot weapons, I gotta own a gun, I gotta have... It's not about weapons. It's not about specifically the Second Amendment. It's about your rights as a whole.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if you're just a mom that sits at home and changes diapers. That's okay. There's a job for you within this group. We have several people who are survivalists and preppers, and that's all they do. They don't own a weapon. That's okay.
There's always, somebody can always contribute something, but most important, knowledge is the power.
Absolutely.
And we're not sexist in any way, so females.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, decent.
Ever so slightly, maybe.
Yeah, well, caution. No, hey, you know what? Really what this is about is harmful intent is the only measure of a crime, whatever that may be, and it usually deals with selfishness. So victimless crimes and all the laws and stuff has basically turned us into a police state, and it's time to have some accountability.
Absolutely.
And so, to everyone out there, thank you so much for taking the time, and y'all, thank you so much for showing up here.
Your thanks for having us. And if anyone wants any further information about the Idaho 3% or questions about joining, you can find us on Facebook and also at our website.
Okay, thank you so much. And Rufus says, signing out.